Competition is not only the basis of protection to the consumer, but is the incentive to progress. This quote by former US President Herbert Hoover aimed to prevent scenarios like the one we've experienced with Grand Theft Auto 5, a sandbox open-world game that no project in its category has managed to dethrone for an entire decade. And it's not for lack of trying, there have been plenty of attempts. As a fan of Rockstar and the GTA series, you might think this situation has been the perfect stage for our favorite franchise to thrive and grow. However, the truth is that the lack of worthy competition for GTA 5 is a huge setback that we're paying for. Competition is the rival that keeps companies from getting complacent. It drives them to work harder, create more content, improve quality, and leave less room for error. In short, it pushes them to strive for perfection, and that's something we as consumers benefit from directly. Over the last 10 years, we've watched Rockstar games stroll confidently as countless other studios developed games and entire franchises, all aiming to claim even a fraction of what Rockstar achieved with just a couple of DLCs per year. Interestingly, GTA 5 has lost in certain areas where competitors have tried to exploit its shortcomings. For instance, some games focused heavily on realism, pushing companies to innovate in small but meaningful details. This included improving NPC behavior and reactions, adding daily routines, and perfecting tiny elements like how objects interact with the player. They also advanced environmental destruction, with games featuring maps where nearly everything, trees, urban furniture, could be destroyed. You could crush bushes and they'd stay flattened rather than magically springing back. Fire effects could leave vegetation charred and vehicles displayed intricate damage. Competitors aimed to outdo Rockstar's attention to detail and realism. Other games took a completely different route, prioritizing dynamism over realism. Surprisingly, this approach worked too. By making gameplay more fast-paced and action-packed, they targeted one of GTA 5's weaker points: on-foot action. Features like wingsuits, grappling hooks, and characters with exceptional parkour abilities made these games surpass GTA 5 in this area. Even if they sacrificed realism, it wasn't realistic, but it was undeniably fun. My personal favorite strategy is when companies introduce mechanics inspired by what players have always wanted in a GTA. Want a more realistic police system where you can get pulled over for speeding? Here it is. Frustrated that you can't destroy the train in GTA 5? This game lets you do it. Upset that the first generation version of GTA 5 didn't have a first-person mode? They beat Rockstar to it. Of course, they sometimes cut corners, like adding first-person but skimping on vehicle interiors, leaving blurry dashboards with no working gauges. But then Rockstar comes along, perfects the concept, and raises the bar again. This pattern of underestimating GTA 5 and falling short has plagued its competitors. It's a long list of failed attempts to surpass the game that first launched in 2013. Take Watch Dogs, for instance, the first game to openly declare itself a GTA 5 competitor. It came out just a year after Rockstar's hit and had a lot of potential, immersing players in a city where hacking was your greatest weapon. It revolutionized NPC interactions by giving every citizen a name and backstory. For the first time, it felt like the world around you was alive. Despite this promising setup, the game couldn't stand up to a then young GTA 5. It faded quickly, forcing Ubisoft to release a sequel that inexplicably stepped back in many areas. If we're talking about GTA 5's strongest competition, we need to look at the Mafia series, specifically Mafia 2. This game comes closest to challenging Rockstar's title, especially in terms of realism. From realistic AI that could identify witnesses and pin crimes on you, to mechanics that fans have long requested in GTA, like detailed environmental destruction and unique gameplay elements. However, even Mafia isn't a perfect rival. It falls short in key areas and suffers from the limitations of its historical setting, a problem that also affected the later Red Dead Redemption 2. Games set in specific time periods can struggle to maintain long-term appeal. It's worth noting the 3-year gap between Mafia 2 and GTA 5. Had Mafia 3 released in 2016 lived up to expectations, the competition could have been fiercer. Unfortunately, it was a disappointment. Even so, Mafia remains one of the strongest challengers to Rockstar's classic, and we can only hope for a successful Mafia 4 to rival GTA 6. Of course, for truly aggressive competition, we'd need Ubisoft or another major studio to step up. After all, both Mafia and GTA are under Take-Two's umbrella, which likely softens any rivalry. Let me know in the comments which GTA-like game you enjoy the most. Support the video for more content, and see you next time.